Hi, it's John Cronshaw here with my author diary for the week ending March the 21st, 2026. I've had a busy week. I'm still not feeling well. Whatever this thing is, it's lingering. I'm into my third week now of just having this cough and just kind of losing my voice occasionally, a bit of a sore throat, that kind of thing. Really heavy in my chest. I have been doing what I did last week, which is basically editing. So I went over Prince and the Fool last week, finished that. I think it was Monday. No, I finished it Tuesday morning. I had one last kind of final thing to do on Tuesday. And then I've been going over, Dragon Squadron, which is RAF Dragon Corps Book 1. I should have that finished early next week. I've been just kind of editing, really. Now, I'm really pleased with The Prince and the Fool, actually. I think the edits have really made it stronger. There's some scenes that I've kind of expanded, some that I've cut. It's just a bit different. The story's the same. I've just tightened things up where they needed tightening up. Got rid of a bit of the, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of navel gazing. Navel gazing. There we go, words. That's kind of hopefully will make it less kind of kind of ponderous. Yeah. That's good anyway. And I think what I'll do is go on to the next RAF Dragon Corps book, get the next Churchill's Dragons, get that one tight as well. So I've sent Prince and the Fool off now for the edit. That is going to be edited next month. Now, what that means is I'm probably looking at either late May, more likely June release for that. We'll see. Basically, I've got a lot on, so I will see whether I've got kind of the headspace for a launch of that. Because I'm also launching the I've got the Final Flight, which is the last Ravenglass Throne book. I have bought the pre-order date forward for that, so that is actually going to come out on the 27th of March this month. And on 27th of April, I've got the Ravenglass Legends 3-book box set coming out. So that is quite a bit to because launches always just take longer than they should in terms of like getting all the newsletter promos and nonsense sorted out, boring background stuff that I'm sure you don't care about. I've got launches to do, basically. That is where my energy is going to be spent. And probably editing as well. When my voice gets better, I will get back to writing, because obviously I dictate my first draft. So when my voice goes after, 5 minutes talking, it's not not something I can do. So just keeping on with the keeping on with the edits anyway. That's my plan. So in terms of reading, I have just finished the 6th Dungeon Crawler Carl book, which is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, I want to say it was called. Really enjoyed that. Took me a bit to get into because I think they changed the system in terms of how the battles worked and things like that. So it just took me a bit to get into that one, but I think by the end it was really good. And it's got me thinking about why this story has been successful in terms of structure. So I know it was done as a serial, I think it started on Royal Road and then Patreon and things like that. So it's something I've tried and not managed to make work particularly well. Hats off to the author for doing that. But I think what it does really well is kind of foreshadowing. And I think the genre, the progression fantasy or whatever it's called, lit RPG, game lit, that kind of genre really lends itself well to foreshadowing. So I'm about to go into the 7th book, and this is something that has been talked about since the start of a thing called Faction Wars, and it's been built up over the series of like, this is something we're all looking forward to. And it's like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really geared up for Faction Wars. It's going to be awesome. So that is something you can't really do in a lot of other genres. That level of this is coming and it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to have a think about how I can employ that kind of thing with my books if possible, because it is really effective. I really want to read that 7th book now, just because I know what kind of to expect, and it's been built up. So I mean, I suppose that can be done with the RAF Dragon Corps books in a way, because obviously, we know the historical events of the Second World War, and I can point. Obviously we can't within the world we can't go. Oh, and the evacuation of Dunkirk's coming soon, so yeah, tune in for that. But what I can do is we know the history of the Second World War, and I am using real events as the kind of basis for the storylines. So there is a kind of thing of that, and maybe some kind of ironic. What would you say? We know more about that history than the people in the story, if that makes sense. So there's a kind of ironic thing where there's assumptions and opinions that maybe don't match what happened or what will happen. So yeah, I'm just going to play around with it. I think there's ways I can do it, but it'll require some more thinking. And I think because I've been back in the RAF Dragon Corps book, I've really started getting ideas for the 3rd novel in that. So this will be basically the Battle of Britain. I think that is where I'm going to be setting it. Battle over Britain, the Blitz, that kind of thing. Because book 1 was obviously Dragon Squadron was set the ending is basically the start of the war, and you've got these recruits, and war is now real rather than just something that is talked about. And then book 2 is the war over Belgium and France, and culminating in the evacuation of Dunkirk. So I think that, next it's going to go there, isn't it? Battle of Britain, that kind of stuff, with dragons, which will be awesome. So I need to kind of start thinking about that. Just lots of streams going on, and Ravenglass Chronicles and things like that. So it's exciting creatively. I also did a thing for which I have posted it on my Patreon actually, and so I've got this novella which is Until the Wyvern Spoke, which is what I'm trying to do is experiment with this dark domestic fantasy subgenre that I have made up, and basically I've written a piece of music. So it's literally about 30 seconds long, if that, and it's just to capture the tone of the story, and I think I did it really well. I think I've kind of channeled the story, the tone. If it was made into a film, I think that'd be the kind of soundtrack it'd need, kind of a bit somber, a bit subdued, without being too dark. Kind of a bit of lightness to the melody and things like that. So I really enjoyed doing that. I've not really thought about that in terms of making music for my stories before, and I might do a bit more of that. That was fun, and didn't require me to talk and dictate, so that was helpful. I recorded that, and as I say, I've posted it on my Patreon, so if you, even for free, follow us on Patreon, it's there if you want to give that a listen and see what you think. I don't know if or what I can do with it in terms of anything else. It's probably just a bonus experiment thing, and I think that is what I am doing this year. Really is kind of experimenting a bit around the edges of what I do, just trying different things. I think I've tried a lot of experimenting in terms of marketing and the what would you say, the background stuff, behind the scenes stuff, experimenting with different things. A lot of it has not worked over the years. So but this is it, and now I'm trying experimenting with genres and different ways of experiencing the stories and things like that. So that's kind of quite, what's the word, just thrilling creatively, I suppose. So hopefully I will do more stuff like that in the future. So until next time, cheerio.